Hey everyone, it's me and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am trying out liquid pencil for the first time. So this is from a brand called Derivan and I think they're based in Australia. They have multiple different colors of liquid pencil, including sepias and like greens and blues, but I just have the two gray shades. They have gray 3 and gray 9, and I'll be honest with you, I've swatched them up in the upper left corner there that you can see. They look pretty much the same to me. They say on their website that like once you've swatched and once you use them, you're able to tell the difference between the two, but I use them interchangeably in everything I tried out and everything I painted on this page, and they looked exactly the same. So maybe with somebody with a more discerning eye than me, they would be able to tell the difference, but not me. So the first thing I painted was a portrait because I felt like this would be a good way to dip my toes in it and also to see like the capabilities of using this for shading. I feel like using like a watercolory type liquid pencil would be a good thing to shade skin with because it's kind of smooth but not totally smooth. And for the most part I think I had a good experience using it. I don't think my drawing was that good to begin with. I just ripped this model from Pinterest and used her for my guide. And like I said, I think it was pretty fun. The best thing about these liquid pencils is that they're re-wettable, which means that if you accidentally make an area of your painting too dark, you can go back in and lighten it up later with more water. It probably isn't the best to use this in like a sketchbook like this because, you know, the pages get all wrinkled with the water. Like you would probably want to use watercolor paper for the best results, but I think that this actually works pretty well in here. It doesn't bleed through the paper because it's just water. So in that sense, it works pretty well on sketchbook paper. It's just that the paper itself kind of wrinkles up. But you know, sometimes even watercolor paper does that. So I don't know. After I did the portrait, I thought, hey, maybe like a landscape would be a good idea because you're able to get so many different values out of a single product. So like a landscape, you know, it's looks kind of misty and foggy the further back, and then as you move closer to the viewer, it becomes not only darker but also more detailed. So I referenced a Japanese inspired ink painting that I found, again I believe on Pinterest, but the original post was on DeviantArt, and I will link that piece in the description below, the one that I referenced this from. My rendition is not identical, nor was it intended to be, but it definitely is heavily inspired by, so I want to make sure that the original artist gets credit for this piece. This is, like I said, just my version of it. I was doing this for practice and to test out the material. I think between the two, I think that the landscape actually looks a little bit cooler than the portrait, which is kind of upsetting because I'm more inclined to do like portraits than I am to do landscapes, because landscapes just really aren't my niche. But like I said, I think the landscape did turn out better. And there's just a little guy on the boat in the water. I think it actually looks really cool, and you'll see the foreground gets more filled out as I go. I think the hardest part of the liquid pencil for me is like gauging how much water is actually on my brush and how much water is being mixed with the medium as I'm using it, because sometimes I would like put something down and it was way darker than I thought it would be because I thought I had more water on my brush than this. Obviously, like I said, with it being re-wettable, you can go back in and make it lighter, but that was a hard part. Also, just sometimes I felt like my brush would dry out, and so I would have to, it was hard to move the medium on the paper because it was kind of dry and sticking and it wasn't spreading easily. So it's not like it's a super duper easy product to use, but if you're familiar with like watercolor, you'd be really good at it, I think. I'm not that good with watercolor, so I wasn't that good with this. I still had a lot of fun using it though. I made the portrait and the landscape on the same page, and there just was a little bit of blank space left at the end, so I wanted to fill out the page. So I doodled this little puppy on the page, and of all the things, this like 5-second doodle of this puppy that's like maybe like 1.5 by 1.5 inches wound up being my favorite thing that I painted on this page. And then I finished the other side with the kitty cat. And that's pretty much my first foray into liquid pencil. I think I will be happy to try it again. I've still got obviously plenty of product left to give this another go. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that on my channel, and I will see you all in another video. Catch you later. Bye.